Guest today is actor Robert Nolan. How you doing, Robert?
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Calling you from way up here in Canada.
Yipper.
That's my Canadian voice.
Do it one more time.
Hello, it's Robert Nolan, calling you from way up here in Canada.
Hey?
That's north of the U.S.
Hey?
Yeah, hey. Oh, yeah, hey. Yeah, we say that a lot. Yeah.
How's the weather up there? Is it pretty decent?
Well, I'm in Toronto. It's unusually cold this winter, but we're looking forward to spring in about 6 weeks. The groundhog said it's coming.
Yeah, it's been pretty weird around here. I mean, it was like in the 60s for 3 days over the weekend. Can you believe that, Pennsylvania? It's crazy.
Oh, 60s, yeah. Yeah, we're in Celsius up here. So 60s, we'd probably be boiling water.
I forgot about that. Anyways, the reason why we have you on here, actually, I want to say thanks for you coming on today. That's pretty cool. Appreciate it.
Oh, sure. You're welcome. Thank you for having me on. That's great.
No problem. I came across you from, of course, Zach and Mr. Powell, and they sent me a copy of Worm, and which I loved it very much. But if we want, we can start back a little bit sooner. In 2009, you have a bunch of short films, good horror short films I'm dying to see. But the first one has a really, really uneasy title, and hopefully people don't get the wrong idea, but it's called Baby Killer in 2009.
Baby Killer, yeah.
If you want, you can explain to listeners, roughly what Baby Killer is about and so forth.
Sure. Baby Killer is a very interesting short film, and I'll give you the brief. The idea of the film is that a filmmaker makes a film which has a side effect, an unintended side effect of causing abortions in women, and he gets into very great difficulty because of that, and he's prosecuted. In that, I play an interviewer who's a newscaster, and we bring on guests and his lawyer who defends him. But I think that the film is kind of controversial in its subject matter. The power of film, I guess, is being explored in that, and what if these things were possible?
Right.
So, an interesting kind of film in that way.
Okay. The next one, I'm kind of curious.
Sure.
If it's actually correct. Chop Chop, You're Dead, 2009.
Chop Chop.
It says
well,
2 minutes?
Chop, yeah. Well, that's actually a trailer, and it's a kind of a teaser trailer that's intended. It's kind of an homage to Japanese horror films, the one where Godzilla meets,
right.
The aliens and that kind of era of those, drive-in movies. So, and it involves monsters and creatures that are created, and I think it's kind of it's a fun. If you look at those films, it's kind of a fun genre. It's a kind of horror, but with a tongue-in-cheek horror.
Right.
That kind of thing. So they're fun. They were really fun to do, and a lot of characters, almost a comic book-like.
Okay. Well, the next one is a bigger one, which I've been looking for. I'm in the process of getting a hold of Daniel, but Eyes Beyond in 2010 looks very interesting short film.
Yeah, Eyes Beyond was an interesting experience. It's a horror film. Kind of explores the state of a person who has you could call it obsessive compulsive disorder, or and what that would be like if we were able to go inside a person like that and find out what his world was like. Okay. So it has a kind of surprise ending. I wouldn't want to give that away.
Right.
But interesting, quite graphic in ways, and but I think the exploration within it was interesting. That was co-directed by Tommy Chang, by the way.
Oh, really? No
yes,
kidding.
He was involved, and you may know him from the Kung Fu movies.
Yep.
With David Carradine. A wonderful person, a great director, by the way.
Excellent. Well, the next one is a one that I must have watched it probably like 25 times now, and it's a 20-minute length. I've been spreading the word about it. It's called Worm in 2010. You played
Worm, yes.
You played a disgruntled, frustrated teacher, and I'm hoping that people can really get a taste of this. I mean, there's a couple clip trailers. I wouldn't say trailer, I said clips. That's online for people to watch and get an idea. But if you want, I'd like you to explain to the listeners, the experience of the 20-minute short film. And, it's amazing what I told Zach and Richard about is how when you watch horror films, or a drama film, I should say, or a thriller, there's actually actions that you see. But in this case, it's like you're talking, to yourself, and then we can hear what you're saying, but nobody else can hear you. And I thought that was so fascinating to watch. I said to my niece, after I watched this, I said to my niece, she's 16 and we have custody of her, and I said, hey, do you ever wonder what your teacher's thinking about you when she looks at you? I got her all paranoid and shit. But anyways, if you want to, would you mind explaining the listeners about Worm?
Worm is I guess you could call it a psychological horror film in some ways, but it's really about an everyday teacher in an everyday high school, sort of a normal kind of scenario where you have a teacher doing his best to impart knowledge and inspiration to students who, I guess if you know about the education system in the United States and Canada, it would be most students would, you might say, be uninspired, partially due to the teenage years and all the problems and challenges that they go through.
Right.
But also because of the state of the education system, right, as well.
Right.
So this gives you a chance to go inside the mind of such a teacher. And in this film, we discover that what you expect is not encountered.
Right.
So as we go inside the mind, we discover that the outer demeanor and behavior of this teacher is quite different from his interior life. And as the film progresses, we find out how much different that becomes during the course of a school day.
Right.
Some people have said it would be a great training video for teachers, for students, actually, beginning of the new year, to find out what is really going on inside your teacher's mind. What happens when when the dreams are stymied of people,
Right.
When you grow and you want things and it doesn't happen. What happens to those dreams? What happens to those impulses? Where do they go? Do they disappear?
Right.
Or do they become darker? Do they become darker forces, more powerful, more pent up? What happens to that energy?
Right.
Where does it go? When does it seek to escape, and where and how?
Right.
And what happens when you encounter new, fresh dreams from young people who aspire to these things? They don't have the experience, but they have the dreams, they have the impulses, they have the things that you had. So do we support that, or do we sometimes undermine it? This film explores all those different levels. It has a moral dimension, it has a horror dimension, was quite an experience to do it, and I think it has kind of a profound meaning for basically the news you hear on some.
Yep. Yeah, I was just so blown away by the, when you, like I explained to them, that when I watched it and then all of a sudden it's over, it's like, damn. I mean, I call it a teaser. I mean, in a sense, it's a teaser because it really leaves you like, oh my God, what's he going to do next? Well, we won't know, which hopefully down the road we will know more about it. If you want, it's not listed on your IMDb, but I'm very aware of it. It's called Familiar. You guys are in the process of getting it started. If you want,
we're actually we're having a rehearsal today, actually, and we'll be shooting that March 5th to 9th. call familiar, and it's sort of a sister film to Worm. Explores some of the themes that were in Worm, but goes far beyond that, I think, in a different area.
I can't wait. I really can't. I'm psyched. Well, the next one you actually was in a TV movie. It's a horror. It's called Red Werewolf Hunter.
Right. Starring, I guess, probably most people know Felicia Day.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen McHattie, who's a big name in horror in Canada, and I'm sure you probably know them in the States. Greg Rick was in it as well. And I did have a scene with them where I'm being chased by werewolves who have captured us, and the werewolves are changing from or have discovered new powers. Where usually you have to wait for a full moon, but in this case, the leader has discovered how to change at any time.
Right.
There's been an uneasy truce between the werewolves and the humans. And this is broken at a point where our love interest, which is Felicia Day, brings home her boyfriend and to meet Mama.
Oh.
And at that time, it's just a bad time all around, because the werewolves are out there.
That is available on Amazon, so I'm going to purchase that and check that out.
Actually, that's a sci-fi movie, CD. The Sci-Fi Channel. So it's actually repeated several times. It's probably coming up. You just have to check the Sci-Fi schedule, and you'd see that one. Yep.
Right. Now, you're also another one called Severance in 2010. Now, this is a... or no. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is a sci-fi, too, correct?
Severance is... let me try. It's produced by Morgan Muscat. Stars Ash Catherwood, a very fine actor, and I just have one scene in that as a bartender.
Okay.
But it's an interesting kind of Doppler, the Doppler.
Okay.
Doppelgang, which is when you encounter. Apparently, in some places, you could think of it as Superman and Bizarro Superman, or as everyone has a dark side or a dark nature or another person in the world that you could meet, or matter, antimatter kind of thing.
Okay.
But in this case, a man finds that who's kind of not a very nice man. It's played by Ash, and a wheeler dealer in the financial circles, discovers that he has his life has been taken over by another, including someone's having an affair with his wife, and his job is he's been fired, and he doesn't recognize things are happening. And he eventually encounters that it's he himself who has taken over himself. Okay. So it's that kind of a movie. It's quite an interesting story, written by Morgan and Muscat, and produced by him as well.
Okay. Now, you also have another horror short that's in post-production, I imagine, The Devil Walks Among You, in 2011.
Right.
Now, the cover of the movie has me really, really juiced about wanting to see this. You've seen it, right?
Yeah. I haven't seen the completed movie yet because it's still in post.
Right.
But it's directed by Ryan M. Andrews, and let's see, what can I tell you about this? Katie Ullman is in it as well, Sandra DaCosta. Those are two actors who are starring in it, and I play the devil.
Oh my goodness. Interesting.
Yeah. I tend to get cast on the dark side, but I also do comedy.
Yeah.
So in this case, we have a situation which is set up as though no one believes in the devil anymore, really, in modern society. I mean, in most people in modern society. What would happen if such people encounter the devil?
Right.
I think that's the premise of the movie, and we see what happens. So it's just an ordinary cafe on an ordinary night, at closing time when the stranger shows up, and it's what happens at that point.
Okay. When
the unbelievers meet the thing they don't believe in.
That's interesting. Now, there is one more. I guess it's for 2012. I don't know if you probably don't know much about it, but it's Battleground. It's an action horror thriller.
Okay. Battleground is a feature film that was done in July of 2010.
Okay.
Its original title was Skeleton Lake.
Right.
Recently changed to Battleground. It's basically about 6 bad guys who are bank robbers, who rob a bank and head out with their loot. But things go wrong because they've hired somebody who's a replacement for one of the robbers. They kill a policeman.
Wow.
They head out into the country. Their escape vehicle no longer exists. They're too hot, and they're being chased by the cops, and this is not the plan, that they become as hot as they are. They're national hot news at this point. So they hide out in the woods in a cabin, but it turns out to be the wrong cabin. The movie, I won't give it any more about the plot, but I think it's shot so well. It's a great adventure story, action thriller, and let's say some bad guys meet someone who's worse.
Okay. Now, is it projected for a release in 2012? Is that what it's trying to say?
Well, no, it's actually just completed post, and I believe it's on the market at this point. Excellent. So I think they've been to AFM and.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's out there. I'm not sure what's the status now, but it's out there to be sold, I think, at this point.
I'm going to be looking for that one. Now, is there anything else that you have planned that's going on right now?
Well, I'm part of a web series called Star. Well, I just had to make brief appearances at times in something called Starvival, which is Danielle Barker, and she is the actress who's created this series. It's in season 2. Okay. It's basically about Craigslist ads. It's about a starving artist who's trying to survive and reach her dream of being a Hollywood star, and what she does to survive in the meantime between gigs. And what she does is answer the oddest jobs on Craigslist, and each episode involves her going to these crazy jobs, doing them just to survive in that cash. So it's a comedy.
Right.
I play the bodyguard. I play her bodyguard at times because it's kind of freaky dangerous out there in the land of Craigslist.
Yeah, I tell you what, Craigslist is well, you know, they post jobs on Craigslist, as you know, and a lot of them are hoaxes, and a lot of people get really angry about that. I go on there just to read what people are saying, but interesting. Mm-hmm. All right, well, yeah, well, I appreciate you coming on. I mean, I wish you a lot of success. I mean, what amazes me is that from what I've seen and the ability and talent that you have, I can really see you getting very, very big in the future. I mean, just the performance and
Well,
Huh?
Are you saying I'm fat?
No.
You saying I'm fat, Scott?
No, I meant.
Hey, listen, we're very sensitive to that up here in Canada, okay? You do not call someone fat. Okay. I don't care if you're nice about it. You just don't say that kind of thing here, Scott. I don't know what your manners are down there. It's not something you do, okay? We get very upset with that.
Okay, well, turn around and smack Pal for me. You might feel better. No.
Yeah, well,
No, but seriously.
But I appreciate that. Yeah,
yes.
I appreciate what you're saying. Thank you so much.
Your ability, I mean, like I told these guys, I said in the review, is your ability to pull that off is quite amazing, because not everybody can pull off what you did there. I mean, think about it. You didn't speak at all yourself, but you spoke. And it's just amazing short, and I've been helping the guys out to getting that short sent to other podcasts and websites, and I just think that everybody should get a taste of this. And now, are you able to talk about the possible in the future for Worm, or no? I know Zach and I have talked about it.
Of the possibilities for Worm? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well, I think I can say Worm has had it's up over 50 reviews. So Zach has been doing an amazing job of getting the film out there to reviewers, and most of them are very positive on it.
Yep.
So critically, it's done very well. It's won some awards and festivals as well.
Yep.
And I believe, I'm not sure, but I believe there's a feature film in the works for Worm, which I think is now in the writing stage, about halfway through. So that's on the table for the future. Actually, that's been requested by several of the reviewers that they would like to see it turned into a feature.
Yep.
So that's really positive. So.
Yep.
Yeah.
But be very careful, because there's going to be a cynical janitor in this movie. So be careful. You might lose your job.
A janitor.
You might lose your job.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think there's any plan. Let me just check a second. Rick, is there some janitor? That's the first I ever heard of some janitor in this work. Well, apparently there is, Scott.
Yeah.
What's the name? His name is Scott? That's odd. Yeah. I guess I just had that confirmed.
Oh, God, you're a good guy. Good guy, Robert.
Yeah, he's going to clean up. He's going to clean up after that movie.
Yep. He's going to clean up all the blood and guts and stuff on the floor. That's what I heard, yeah.
Hopefully.
No,
yeah.
That's a joke, but yeah.
So listen, I got to tell you, Scott, these guys are top quality, all right? I know I'm in the film, and this could be just PR, but it's not, really.
Yeah. No.
What I really appreciate about them is their willingness to stretch, to go as far as it takes to bring in best quality people and create a quality production, especially in the writing and the production values of it. It's really a pleasure to be part of what they're doing.
Exactly.
And at Fatal Pictures.
Yeah, and I got something to say about them as well. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people doing interviews and stuff. And the thing about Zach that amazes me is he really keeps in, most people that you interview, I mean, obviously they're busy, and Zach's busy too. I'm not saying that he's not, but he always keeps contact. That's the most important thing in his position is always keep contact, because you never,
Right.
He's down to earth. I'm not just saying it because he's behind you, whatever, but I really like Zach and Mr. Powell. I mean, they're fun guys.
Yeah.
They're good dudes. They really are.
You know what? It's a great team. It's a great team because they support each other's strengths. They're quite different. And Richard's an amazing writer. He's got more coming out of his brain as far as writing goes than he knows what to do. That he can produce.
Yep.
And Zach is just an amazing producer in my experience. The best, because he's hustling out there. He's getting this film known, and he's doing what a producer does well. So it's a great team effort at Fatal Pictures with both Zach Green and Richard Powell.
Yep, I'm like his silent assistant, but I strongly support Worm. I mean, for it to be like a drama thriller, it can be a horror down the road. But I just was really, like I said before, fascinated by the way it was. I mean, the way it was filmed, the way it was done. I mean, it's just incredible writing and incredible style. And the one they did before that, a Consumption that they did, that I thought was crazy. I won't go into detail on that one, but wow. But anyways.
Yeah, that was a film they did before Worm called Consumption. That was starring Bruno Tallata and Andrea Nettleton.
And that's a
they're quite a controversial film based upon a real event. I guess you probably know about it, but based upon a real event in Germany of real-life cannibalism, voluntary cannibalism, if you can believe that.
I know.
Yeah.
And then,
when two people agree, in a free society, what can happen? What will we do?
Yeah. Well, thank you, Robert, for spending some time with me. I really appreciate it. You're a good guy, and I hope the best for you.
Oh, thank you.
Hope the best for you in the
future.
Thank
you, Scott.
And try and lose some weight.
I really appreciate that.
And try and lose some weight.
Oh,
okay?
yeah. Okay, I'll lose it in kilograms because I'm in Canada, but I'll convert that to pounds for you and let you know how much I lost.
You go. All right.
Okay, thanks, Scott.
Take care, buddy.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Talking.
Yep.
Thank you.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.